Hey, this is Lianna from Just a Job app. Today we are going over how to never put fluff in your resume. So we're going to be looking at, well, first of all, what is fluff? We'll find out. So I'm going to take you through a real resume that one of my old students sent me, and we're going to review the job description, and then we're going to simulate a 6-second recruiter screen, and then finally we're going to remove fluff. So this is a job that the student applied to. Okay, so 30 seconds. We have analytics next gen, blah, blah, blah. It's an internship, okay. Canada on-site, that's interesting. And then educational recommendations. I've never seen a recommendation, but okay. Currently pursuing a bachelor's or master's degree in computer science with an accredited school in Canada. Proficiency in Python and data analysis libraries, exposure to PyTorch, TensorFlow, understanding of machine learning concepts and algorithms with ability to apply them, familiarity with cloud or containerized environments, drive to innovate and push boundaries in telecom. Python, data analysis, machine learning, cloud stuff. Got it. All right, let's move on. Here's the resume, and we're not going to look at that because eye tracking studies show that the top third of the resume is what's going to show up like when a recruiter is scanning your resume. And not only is the top third going to be the most important, but the first bullet point within each section or within each role is also going to show up and be most visible when the recruiter is scanning through, at least for a first pass within 6 to 7 seconds. So machine learning, Python, I don't see Python or machine learning except in the education. So I might pass on this one actually. It does not meet these qualifications. Like I don't see any mention of Python, at least within like this first scan. I don't actually see Python. There is Fast API, but okay. Is there, oh, I would like to be able to search, but if there's no actual word with Python in here, I'm not sure that this resume will get sorted nicely within the ATS system. So one of the myths is that ATS systems automatically reject your resume, but the recruiters that I've been following, they're saying that ATS systems are just an archiving method. So maybe it'll extract skills from your resume, keywords, and act as a filing cabinet and maybe help recruiters sort through resumes. So maybe if you don't have all the keywords, your resume might be lower in the pile, but it doesn't mean that you're going to be automatically rejected. Oh, I do see Python, but that should be, yeah, don't see a lot of relevant bullet points. So yeah, I mean, if I'm not a recruiter, I'm a software engineer. I've been in tech for 7 years, would make me think that this person has not actually taken the time to tailor their resume and they're just spray and praying. Yeah, because there's a lot of specific keywords that are not even being bolded here. It just seems like this is a catch-all resume. Okay, so moving on to fluff removal, my favorite. All right, so we have, I'm just going to go through the shortened version of the resume. I think there's a lot that we can go through. So first, fluff. We have seamless, so managed and skilled critical IT operations for the summer of 2025. Okay, I like that, but ensuring high availability and seamless user support for a network. I think high availability and seamless user support for a network are kind of the same thing. Staff member, so I would remove internal. This is our sheep counter, our fluff counter. All right, next bullet point, utilize a centralized, it's really hard to say that, utilize a centralized inventory tracking system. I don't know what centralized means, and you're saying inventory tracking system, but also later in this bullet point, you're saying asset management platform, which is similar, it sounds like. There's not a lot of detail here. Like, I don't know what kind of inventory you're tracking. I can assume it's IT stuff. And again, just pausing, this is totally separate from the resume job description review that I did. So now we're just looking purely at fluff and trying to get your bullet points as punchy as possible so that when you do need to tailor your resume, which you should for a job description, you have a resume that is as streamlined. Ugh, I shouldn't have said streamlined. That is my least favorite word, but you get the point. So I would probably just remove that and do migrated data from manual spreadsheets to a modern asset management platform like ServiceNow. So this makes me think that they were using some other modern asset management platform that was not ServiceNow, but maybe in whatever job description they were applying to, it required ServiceNow, which I think is fine. But maybe you should say like similar to ServiceNow, which improved asset visibility and reduced tracking errors by 25%. I don't know what asset visibility is. Like who were the users? Like, was it improved asset visibility to the staff members that you mentioned previously? And then what kinds of assets were these? Orderable computer hardware for teachers? And then what kinds of tracking errors? I don't understand what a tracking error is, so just some wording confusion here. And then next, I already said that I did not like streamlining. During Confluence, oversaw project scheduling and task management for IT initiatives using Jira and Confluence. As soon as you say Jira and Confluence, I know you're doing workflows and stuff, so I would remove that. And Agile, cool. All right, so next bullet point, scalable is an interesting word. I would remove it because it's hard to give an adjective without quantifying what that means. For example, you could say something scalable if you provided context for like data load increased from 1,000 rows a day to 10,000 rows a day and managed the improvement, added pipeline steps to manage this increase in scale. That would make more sense. I see a lot of buzzwords. Serverless, that's fine, I guess. Real time, low latency. Don't actually know if those go together. Kind of sounds like the same thing. Okay. Oh, I put enhanced. Yeah, enhanced doesn't mean anything to me. I would remove that. And next would be, again, scalability. I'm not really sure what, like how you would enhance a platform scalability by 35%, unless there were no, I don't know, maybe, yeah, I can't even think of how you would do this. Maybe like API endpoints weren't written for some of the functionality, so maybe you took three to four functions and created API endpoints for them so that customers could use those functionalities. The other thing I'll say is that there's not a lot of context for what the places were that the student worked at. So I know like this was anonymized for the sake of this review, but even without the anonymizing, I would add some, what do you call it? I would add like a 1 to 2 sentence description here of what the small remote startup was. So was it in the healthcare industry? How many customers did they have? Or anything that is public information. So Z-backed healthcare tech startup serving enterprise customers, yada, yada, yada. And then, yeah, okay, that was a tangent. But going to the next one, conducted comprehensive bias analysis. Comprehensive doesn't mean anything to me. On modern facial attribute classification models. Modern, I also, anything is modern when you're doing tech stuff these days, especially if you're in an AI lab, so I don't think you need to put that. Facial attribute classification models by systematically, that doesn't mean anything to me either. Pinpointing areas of bias through extensive data collection. I don't know what that means. Does that mean you were like looking for, how are you collecting data? Analysis tends to be in depth. I don't know what to tell you. You can get rid of that. So yeah, this has been pretty fun for me. I enjoy picking apart resume details. So if you have a resume that you would like reviewed, I'm happy to do that depending on capacity. This was a blast. So thank you so much, Student Anonymous, for sending your resume and job description in. This will be super valuable for other students, I'm sure. And don't forget to subscribe. Thanks.